That should be good. Hopefully. Let me see if I can do any. Always something, damn it. Come on. All right. Can you guys hear me now? I don't know why this is freaking out so much here. Hanging at about -6 Tesla. Let's take that down just a little bit. It's about right there. Hopefully, this damn thing. I don't know. I might have to start using All right, cool. We got that fixed. Jesus. I'm about to start switching over and using XLR mic because going through with the USB, it's acting kind of crazy. All right. Anyways, I'm still tired and beat down because we stayed there until 10. We went along and we did a ritual after our last live that you guys watched. I was trying to sort through and sift through a little bit of the evidence why it was still on property. I kind of had to for a lot of the shit that was going on. By far, I'm still, I don't know, I'm still trying to be kind of subjective, right? But all that evidence that was there, the screenshots I've got, I have not combed over any of this yet. I've watched my little the first live I did there, giving the tour of the property. I watched a little bit of that, and I've watched the timestamps that Steph and Death hooked us up with. And holy shit. In real time, I did not see the whole melting of the screen. We'll get into that. I don't know if we'll go through this whole 4 hour and 45 minute. I definitely got time to do that right now, but I feel like I had to like go live with you guys and at least go over some of this stuff. Because if we can't debunk some of these damn things, it I don't want to oversell it. I don't want to get overly excited and be like, holy shit, you know. But if we cannot debunk some of these things, it's the best paranormal evidence I've seen or caught outside of a full body apparition. You couldn't get much more. We had a scratch go down in real time. Now I do wish Bob would have let me, kind of reveal the scratch on the live cam. He didn't want to, you know what I mean? He didn't want to be all up in the camera and me pulling down the shirt. And plus he was kind of thrown. I could see he was kind of thrown by the situation, and I can definitely relate because the same shit happened to me in the same exact location for Phantom Farm, which that link's in the description also. So I kind of got it. And at the same time, I wanted to get back down there, and that's why I went back down there. I wanted to go down and do a solo down there because if it's the same entity that scratched me, that also did that to him, it was my chance to finally pursue this and try to get it to come out again. And I was getting frustrated because the scratches, I had a scratch in between my shoulder blades. He had a scratch in between his shoulder blades. And I'm like, all right, you guys, whatever this entity is, you're good at attacking somebody's back. Why don't you just break my face open right here on a live? So it's undoubtable. Nobody, I can't overthink it. It's undoubtable proof. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But as I was calling that in, we had a bunch of shit going down. Oh my God, you guys, we had a bunch of shit going down. Right, Steph? Hey, Miley. Yeah, Steph. How you guys doing? Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and switch this over. Again, I apologize if I'm still beat down, man. Like, I think I stayed up for, I don't know, close to 40 straight hours or something, but it's a part of it. You know what I mean? If you're passionate about this shit and this is what you want to do, it's just a part of the game, right? Wow. It was just a phenomenal night. It really was. It was. I was down when I first set this cam. All right, I guess I need to slow my brain down a little bit here and go through all of this. I'm telling you, doors did not want any of you men in the room. That could be that could be true, Steph. I did, Miley. I did. I seen that yesterday after I got home. I unpacked everything, and I got to see the timestamp of that, and I got my theory on that. We'll bounce around here in the attic a little bit, and then I'll go back down to the basement where all the crazy happened. When I set this camera up in the attic, we had only been on property maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half or something. And we was getting ready to set up our static cams, our Nest cams and things. Wise cams, Nest cams. We had some set up outside, and a lot of them set up in the hallways. So we always had, damn near the whole property was on surveillance. And so I go up here and I set this. And I just got down to the basement and was going over some shit. And I opened the phone up and I pulled up the chat just to see if you guys have heard anything up there that I needed to go up and check out. And you guys was talking about the steps. So I listened in a little bit and I'm like, holy shit, I got to get up there. So I go up there, and you guys, when I was up there, I haven't watched any of this footage. So we'll go ahead and play it as I'm running my mouth. Let me know if you can hear this video okay, or if I need to turn that up a little bit. Oh, there we go. I have to agree with you on that
All right,
stuff.
there's your guys' static cam.
Jesus.
Again, if you guys see anything, like anything moving around through over here anywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that good stuff? Think that's a good view? Hey, Lavadouche.
I want to make sure you guys hear this well enough.
Is that a good enough view for you guys for a little while? Okay, awesome. We're going to be down, setting all of our static cams up, and Nest cams and all that.
We're all good now.
And I will have you guys up here. And again, if you guys see anything crazy, like with our vintage wheelchairs over there start moving. I had to throw the word vintage in there because you are in the attic. Everything, the Black Friday sales are still going. You can buy that wheelchair right now for 15 cents. The Black Friday sale will run to Christmas.
Holy shit. So, okay.
No, if you guys see anything moving or anything
on this
back
live
there,
stuff,
like moving around through there, obviously any of these things moving around, definitely have Raven start to blow me up. We will be downstairs. You shouldn't hear too much of us because we're going to be downstairs and outside setting Nest cams.
I guess I do got to kind of go over also.
And there's a lot of creaks and like almost
for me to even see myself.
You'll hear that fan that's blowing in the wind kind of squeaking.
I guess I better like.
Yes, you can DM me on Twitter also stuff.
Because me and Tyler got there a little bit late. We had to pick up some things
you hear,
for the ritual.
The vent fan
cheat
blowing
sheets
around the wind. You guys will hear that a lot.
We're always kind of carried around to remember names, days, and shit like that.
Used to the ambiance of this room fairly quick. Normal creaks and movements and things, but anything out of the ordinary, that especially.
Okay, how about now? I paused it now. I don't know what's going on with this mic today. I've never had issues quite like this with this stupid thing, but to kind of catch you up to this point, Tyler and I, we arrived a little bit late. And we had to pick up different things for the night. We arrived a little bit late. Cody and Bob did a walkthrough. Cody said, hey, up in the attic. Well, I should get off. The past me should be off here in a second. So we get there. Cody comes down. He says, hey, we did a walkthrough. And Bob and I, we heard footsteps while I was up in the attic. So I'm like, okay, that's where I'm going to set them up. We'll set the live feed up there and have my peeps kind of just check it out and let me know if I need to get up there. And you guys did it very quick. I mean, and a lot of these sounds up here, that constant little chirping, there's a vent. There's like 4 or 5 air vents in that attic that has fans. And the wind was picking up and it was pretty rough. So that's the constant little chirps you heard. And you can explain away some of the thuds up there from that wind banging on the roof. However, when I came up there with you guys, there were so many footsteps going around. It was just, I mean, you couldn't deny it. You couldn't. Okay, sorry about that. I had a message. I had to read it real quick. Anyways, we go up there, and there was a ton of footsteps going on around me. It sounded like there was like almost walking to me. It was just phenomenal. This is how our night started. We didn't get to do a lot of things that we had our production meeting was set wanting to do because it was just so chaotic as far as like evidence going on. We had all the steps and walks and everything going on above us, and it was awesome. This is probably the best night we've had at Randolph out of all the nights we had, and I was able to catch it all live with you guys. A bulk of all the crazy evidence that went down all happened in this freaking live stream. So let's go ahead and dive back into this.
Anything moves or full body apparition, definitely blow me up and bring that to my attention. All right, guys, this is where I want to set you guys up at before I take off. We'll be doing our solos here very soon. Well, I don't know, very soon. Soon enough. All right, appreciate it, Steph. Y'all have fun.
And again, this is man, this is 3 floors and across the building to where we're all at. At this point in time, when you guys was watching this static cam, we was all down there, gearing up and getting ready to set our surveillance cams and getting base set up. We just started diving in here, and well, you guys will see. So you hear my footsteps fading out. There's traffic noise. I so wish I was able to get that pocket. When we go back, I got to get that pocket too, or the pocket 3 before we go back. It'll be such a clear image and live stream straight from that device. I can carry that with me. We definitely need to get that squared away before we go back. And I do believe this is, we have to kind of go back and delve back into this thing. It's crazy to even hear it this peaceful. And it was kind of going in patterns like this as well. Like it would be like eerie quiet, and then it would take off. That's the way this place works. It's nuts. So kind of getting the ambiance of the room. You hear that fan circulating and chirping. That initially is why I came back up here. I was just trying to figure out, what's the normal sound, if there's anything normal about this damn place of this attic. So I'm not like freaking out and getting overly excited about just normal ambiance. But so you can hear the wind picking up there. But that right there was a perfect roof sound. You can definitely tell the difference between that roof popping and then something shuffling around and moving around in that attic. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to listen to because I haven't even looked over this deep yet. No critters that I found yet, no. I walked all around this attic trying to debunk all this shit and just and I wasn't the only one. Several of us from our team went up, and that's kind of Tyler. If anybody can debunk something, Tyler's that guy. I'm confident in my abilities, but Tyler really. See, that's more wind activity. And again, like Steph just said, we was 2 floors down, 2 floors down and way across the building. Yep, that's the fan squeaking. Holy shit, is that? Okay, sorry guys, we'll have to go back just a little bit here. That's roof sounds. But here in a minute, you can almost hear the weight on the floorboards. Roof sound. Definite. That's right beside the iPad there. I don't want to keep jumping back, but that was definite. Yeah, I don't have no reason to keep jumping back because we got plenty of it, but that was weight distribution on the wooden floorboards right by the iPad. Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge difference. I mean, it's an old building, and it's cold and it's windy, so it's going to crack. But what I try to look for is what we just heard right there, almost on, damn near stepping on the iPad. You hear more roof sounds, but you hear weight pressing on the floorboards, and clear footsteps, clear shuffling. More wind cracking there, that metallic sound. There it is again. Just almost like somebody's pacing back there. And 1,000%, I swear on my father's grave, like we do not over exaggerate or put on anything. That's why once, it's like another clear footstep. That's why once I read the chat and seen what was going on, I'm like, man, I have to get up there and see if I can explain some of this stuff away and kind of debunk some of these things so they can ignore the normal room sounds and try to. See right there, boom, boom, boom. I mean, you hear the wind. I wish it was in front of it, Miley, so we could kind of see. And when I get up here and start trying to write stuff, that right there, you hear that. It's almost like it was curious on what the fuck I had set up there, because I got you guys kind of backed up. There's like a little half wall there with an outlet before you get to the stairwell. And then there's another room back there. But I wanted you guys to get this view because the last time I was there, we had all of that. All of our happenings we had up there with footsteps was down that hallway there, or down that side of the attic. And again, guys, I'm watching this for the first time right now, so I'm trying to listen and commentate a little bit, and try not to get overexcited and say everything's a ghost, because, or everything's an entity. But, I mean, there's clear footsteps going on there. Right there. See, those sounds like that right there, you can definitely tell it's something in that room within 10 or 15 feet from that iPad, at least, almost like pacing. Ah, damn. All right, so we are hearing a little bit here. I want to see when I actually get up there. There's my inside. I was so bundled up at night. I had like 3 layers on, still freezing my ass off. Okay, there's me obviously coming up the steps. Okay. I thought I was hearing footsteps up here. Kind of double purpose. I got a bunch of cams. Right there's a perfect example. Just hearing me walk across that floor kind of matches what we was hearing behind the iPad. When I go back through and dissect this, I'll edit it and put those side by sides of my footsteps walking away like that and what we heard, because with these headphones on right now, going over it and just in real time, like, it could be my brain just trying to make a pattern, but it sounds pretty similar. Yeah, I had a long sleeve shirt, a damn hoodie on, and that big ass jacket, and it was just freezing me. It was like 16 degrees, and that wind was just fucking brutal.
All right, guys, as you can see, watching the chat here, this is an older pocket cam. Trying to get this all on as much footage as possible. Yeah, I did pump it.
And then, of course, I should have turned down my fucking audio on that phone trying to keep up with the chat. I definitely learned from this investigation. I need to update some equipment.
Moving to the top left corner. All right, Dad.
Yeah, I got the live chat pulled up from that night in another box here, and that's exactly what she's saying, stuff. What's really insane about this whole night, we did not have to use a spirit box. We didn't have to use any of those. It was just a live night. The dead was very alive. How far are we into this?
You guys did hear the footsteps also, right? We're down there getting all the other cameras ready.
Yeah, we hear it, Nathan. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
I thought I heard footsteps up here. Let Tyler and them down there hear it. So I decided to come up here and kind of do like a little solo with you guys. To see what is the normal ambiance of this room.
And I'm so grateful. You guys did a fucking amazing job. Fucking amazing job. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, Lord. Hey, Jack.
I wouldn't have been able to catch half of this shit without you guys.
Punky punk. Kitty. Yes, it is windy. That's why you hear that fan, the constant chirping. But what I heard when I was down there was clearly footsteps. It sounded like almost right beside the iPad setup. Really, Kitty?
It was. That's why I was so glad I was able to. The bulk of the evidence was caught on this live with you guys.
Over here for you guys too. Give you something, another little focal point to see if anything pushes or pulls or messes around with that in any way. I'll show you guys. I don't
See, what I'm getting ready to show here is the Pocket 2. DJI makes this piece of equipment.
This is what I'm holding up.
They just updated and made a 3, which has a bigger display screen.
It is the second generation of the Pocket Cam. I was trying to get the third generation.
This has that again.
It's a cool little cam, but it don't have live stream capabilities. The next generation, I could literally been carrying this around with me the whole time and live streaming everything for you guys.
I'm definitely gonna have to get that. I think they're still got their little Black Friday gig going on. It's roughly around $800, but it's well worth it doing these.
Up here, I got like 3 layers on right now, and this big coat, and it's still freezing. It's
and
cold for sure.
Seeing how valuable the live is, why we're investigating, it's definitely another tool we're going to be using from now on, because having you guys watch a static cam and catching things and looking for things as we may be distracted and doing other things or setting up more equipment. Or you guys did a fucking phenomenal job. Live is a must now on one of these investigations.
Well, this is my version of the attic, guys. I mean, we still have a lot of Black Friday sales going on. A lot of Black Friday sales going on up here right now. We're gonna keep those Black Friday sales going on until around Christmas. 15 cents for this ball, a gently used vintage ball.
It definitely is stuff. Definitely is. We definitely had more action in this attic.
Right, Lex?
Definitely had more action in this attic than what the one in the other part of Indiana has. Gently used ball, damn it. I so bad just want to just jump into the fucking the basement footage. I might do that here in a second. Just jump in there and we comb over that basement footage. Because up here I did hear a disembodied voice with a naked ear. That I still ain't convinced that's what it was, because there was a dog outside somewhere down the road barking. And your subconscious will like try to fill in the gaps of making sense of noises that you hear. And I believe that might be kind of what my head did in that circumstance, but right, Miley? You can't get much clearer footsteps than that right there. Holy shit. And I'm staying stationary right there.
Sure, definite footsteps.
Let's go back to that.
You should remember me. Been here a few times. Just coming back up to visit you guys. Currently up here by myself. You guys want to come in and have a conversation with us? It's just me up here right now. Did that audio pick up the footsteps for you guys, like over in this direction?
Yeah, I definitely. It's just like a live come over with you guys. I'm really going to dissect this shit
in that direction
later on and put together the best evidence we caught. And then we'll go over that video also once I get that put together.
And they're outside. I just heard the alarm chirp for a car.
Right now, there was 2 people still in the base room, and the rest of the crew's outside grabbing equipment needed.
No fucking way.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you.
No fucking way.
All the money that we get from here on in, I think what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, I don't care if I got to go by myself back to this place, but I want to get me and Tyler back here with the updated equipment. And I think right now in the off season, if we go during the week, it's not really that expensive at all to get this place for an overnight. I think it's like $450 for overnight. So, ooh, that's a nice little refill. I appreciate you, Steph. Thank you so much, hon.
If you can repeat this pattern for me.
Okay, what I'm going to do now, like I said, I'm going to go back through let me pause this for a second. I'm going to go back through, obviously, and go over all of this footage and try to debunk. And what I can't debunk, I'm going to put together on like a little evidence reel, and we'll go over all of that, all the footage up here in the attic. Pretty much in this attic, we just kept hearing footsteps, shuffling, and I thought I picked up a disembodied voice. And I gotta fucking get that SD out of that pocket that I'm carrying around. Also upload that footage to see what that might caught, and see if we can kind of. And that's another thing that you can use. And when you're out in the field and investigating and doing these type of things, try to have two audio sources running as you're up there doing it, so you can cross-reference and see if both mics pick something up, or maybe one mic picked up something the other mic didn't. You can kind of compare and contrast that way. At least that's one of the styles I like to use when it comes to audio. I've been doing this. I mean, it's always been a thing for me. Like I love the paranormal. I'm there to get scared. It takes quite a bit to really spook me, but instead of like getting the feeling of being really like afraid, it makes me more determined than afraid. Like I'm really wanting to either debunk, which that's what I set out to do majority of the time, is debunk what we're hearing. But it puts me in like mission mode, where I'm determined to either debunk or prove what we're hearing. So there's a little bit of fear factor in there, and I think that comes from me just being a adrenaline junkie. I live for that feeling, that fight or flight response your body gives, and I just turn that into determination to try to sift through what's going on. Yes. Good point, Steph. There was a moment where I was asking for that. Let's go ahead and. I mean, that you guys was up in that attic for over 2 hours, and here's the basement. This is Josh and I were first setting up that cam, and getting ready for this insane shit. Now, before this does start, the wind was very, very high, and you can see this fan right above the window there, where you see the freezer, the window, and there's a fan with some grates back there. But I jumped on this counter and was trying to push on the grates to recreate some of that noise. Now, a lot of that noise was coming from that area, from that fan beating on that thing. But even so, the wind never really changed. That wind was steady. It was aggressive all night long. And you guys will see how active and loud this stuff is. And then when we go back down there, it's crickets. It's crickets. And then the scratch happened. And then I'll give my theory a little bit on what I think happened when the stream malfunctioned. As you've seen, you guys was live up there for so long in the attic, and there was no real breaking up of the footage. It was clear for the most part. You had a little bit there, but there's modems set up all throughout this building, so the reception's pretty well inside of there. And I've never seen any video malfunction the way this thing does and then recreate itself. It's almost like an old VHS tape. Somebody's trying to adjust the tracking and melts it melts the screen or something. It's odd. Right, Miley. That's our goal with our crew. Like, we don't want to oversell or undersell anything. And we're just there trying to experience and investigate and mainly debunk a lot of the nonsense and just kind of hone in on the real shit. And that's our approach. We'll never fake or over exaggerate shit. I agree with you. Steph. Yeah, it was wild. I mean, we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. Let's get up there where the scratch happened, I think. All right, there we all are. Let's watch from this point in and kind of see what we can see. That's Bob beating on the big hood over the old oven area there, trying to recreate some of these sounds that was going on down there.
So that again?
See, right now we're in radio contact with bass, and we're trying to recreate some of those sounds because even Megan, which is Cody's fiance, she was sitting there at the base hearing the same sounds you guys was hearing. And once we go down there, it stopped. I mean, I jumped on this counter, he's beating on the hood. We could not really recreate the sound you guys was hearing.
He's in the chat saying it's weird the sound stopped when I came down here.
Ask him.
And I'm repeating that
All right, guys.
on the video now.
Listen right here and tell me if this is the noise that you heard.
Right stuff. Like, that's what we learned definitely with this night is the live cam, live streaming to all you guys. And then plus there's a bunch of theories also, like everybody focused on one thing. I mean, it's through every religion, you know, for Christians, if more than one gathers in the name of God, it strengthens the presence. Same kind of basis here. And I think even over like live streaming, there was still consistent people in there focused on the same shit we was.
But I guess the vibration of wind hitting that great. Let's just sit in silence for a minute to see if we can.
And the fact, you guys will see in a minute, but how Bob comes out of this freezer there in the corner with that wooden door open, it's an old walk-in freezer. Bob is like 6'5", and I don't know how much. You know, I know he's at least over 300. And the way he comes out of that freezer is, and you see fear in his face.
Now down here, we hear that banging. And now that we come down here, the banging stops.
Oh, I have no idea. Shut me in here.
Yeah, the live is definitely going to be a tool from here on out because it just we wouldn't have caught none of this if it wasn't for that. I mean, we would have, but not in the live format like this. This is straight live. There's no way to edit and manipulate this footage. I mean, it's live. It's consistent. Now we also have Bob's footage, and inside of that freezer he's in right now, he never lets go of the rig, other to open the door. All right. Nope, not yet, I guess. I mean, you would definitely be able to tell if he, and Bob wouldn't do that anyways, I don't believe, on something this serious, so. I know it probably don't mean much to the people watching, you know, but
Guys, this sound here, is that what you was hearing?
we definitely wouldn't fake none of this because I got overly excited because I thought it was going down again. What happened to me in Phantom Farm?
I hear that definitely sounds a lot more like what it was for Ethan, definitely.
I'm really looking forward to seeing
So it shattered in the freezer?
the emotion and try to watch the angle of his body to make sure he don't hit the door frame or the door or the handle or anything. But again, he's like 6'4", 6'5".
All of a sudden, nothing.
There might be a small draft or something, but it's not anything major enough to make some shit like that move.
And then like, look, you know, we come down here, you think
The
that
shit's on a belt.
yeah, it's
Even if the
it
wind
has
is
tension
really
on it.
bad, that's what I'm saying, it's got tension on it.
Yeah.
The wind would have to be really bad to shake those back shutters that consistent.
Give us just a second.
And then if you go over and
The camera it's frozen and we can't hear the audio, so if you want to talk to us, talk through the walkie.
See, having some issues with our electronics. One of our Nest cams froze up and the audio cut out. And again, so the only live cam we got right now is you guys right here.
I'll show you guys real quick. That's where we came in at. There's no on there. It was clinging on that metal hood.
We're back in business.
All right. The scratch has to be coming up soon here. And again, I love that he has his rig with him the whole time, so we can debunk for the viewing audience any foul play or anything. But I guess if that's the type of person some of these investigators are out there, you could absolutely fake shit. But I mean, I guess everybody that would even fake it would say this, but we thoroughly are against that shit. That's a game ender for all of us. If you fake shit, that's it. We're done. Here he comes.
This wind just go and nothing. And even the chat saying,
Sorry, we should have bought
since we
it
come down here,
back in the
nothing.
freezer area.
You know
So
what I
we're
mean?
trying to investigate it.
Movement back in the what area?
Back in the freezer area, this wooden box in the back.
Scratch got to come up soon here. I don't think he goes in that freezer too many times. And right there, we're standing there, and you can hear that wind still being consistent, and none of that loud banging and clanging that was going on before we went down there.
Doesn't fucking feel good in here at all.
No, there's something weird
Get
about
your
it.
ass out of there, dude. Especially after we're just smelling gas. I mean, there shouldn't be no gas.
I don't even know if there's gas hooked up.
Hang on, I keep hearing something right over here.
There's an open radiator sitting on top of the walk-in. That's something.
He's in frame right there. Not doing nothing, not doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this fucking freezer, man. There's something weird.
He's saying he's feeling weird in the freezer, and then
And then as soon as we come down here, it just stops.
It stops.
there he goes. Let's bring that back. I want to see him come out one more time.
Camera it's frozen and we can't hear the audio, so if you want to talk to us, talk through the
I thought I jumped back way too fucking far.
Okay, that's weird.
Down here, it just stops.
It
Here he
stops.
comes.
You okay?
All right, looks like he was straight on.
Did you just get pushed?
No, there's no.
Down here, it just stops.
Sorry, guys. I know I'm going to go over this.
You okay?
Okay. Where the scratch is angled, it doesn't appear to me that he hit anything.
Did you just get pushed out of there?
There's no fucking way.
That's what it just looked like, because you went forward, I heard your fucking feet skitter.
You guys, go back and look to see
Right,
if Bob come out of the freezer.
Right here's where Steph and Death come in clutch right here.
Did you feel
Flipped it and sent it to me. Right, Miley. To me, and like I said,
We're heading back up.
I'm a little over 6 foot, and Bob dwarfs me. He's a big guy, and for him to come out that way and be that afraid, like, I only wish we could have did the reveal on this live cam, but you know, it happened to Bob, and I didn't want to push him too much to do things he wasn't comfortable with. You go to my community tab, you can see the scratch, and his was more severe than what mine was. Mine was raised welts. This thing actually drawed blood. And let me kind of get our live reaction to the reveal. Because at this point, my adrenaline was up so high, and I thought, holy shit, here we go. Same shit happened to me, happened to somebody else. Confirmed, damn it.
Oh, yeah, right on the front.
Right, Miley, he did, yeah.
Top of your neck is dead, bro. Holy shit.
In the exact same spot. That's fresh. Exact same spot I did, and that's what I'm saying.
And we instantly, you know, there was no marks on the hoodie or his other shirt he had underneath there. We checked his fingernails. There was no, like, blood or ripped skin or anything like that. There was no like wood splinters or anything. And Tyler goes down here and he walked through the whole freezer, same thing. I'm really just gonna get all that footage. Like I wanna see all that footage and try to debunk it myself. Right, right. Like that was my biggest thing because I've been in that position. That's the whole reason why Phantom Farm's a thing. That scratch that happened to me, and it puts you in like a weird headspace where you're like that didn't happen. That's not that didn't just happen to me, and I was kind of stuck in that headspace for 2 to 3 weeks of like denial, really, and just trying to make sense of it. But you really can't make sense of something abnormal as that. You got scratched by something that isn't there. You know. And here we go. We're coming back in. I jump right into the freezer, trying to figure out if anything. And again, like I said, he's 6'4", 6'5", something like that. And there's nothing up at that level to get him the way it got him, almost right in between his shoulder blades. There's no sharp metal or sticking out boards or anything like that. It blew my mind. That's why we go back up and like, all right, Tyler, you're very thorough in trying to debunk. Go down there and help calm my my ass down because I'm believing it is insane.
I know, but there's just no.
I understand what you're saying, dude. You're about to get in the head.
Oh, you're fine. Bob just got shoved out of that freezer in a deep scratch there. All right, let's go ahead. I'll bring us up. And there's something about this numerology that I caught also, and I'll go over that. It's around 4624, but I want to give a little bit of perspective here.
It's the same thing.
As you see, I'm reading the little cheat sheet right now and trying to provoke. What happened to me when this scratch happened, I became very pissed and determined, because I never really got concrete evidence or explanation on what my scratch was. So when I seen Bob getting scratched and it had like the same shape as what mine did, and which Tyler made a great point. It's damn near the same shape in the same location. The only difference is his almost looks like my scratch, but upside down. The shape's almost flipped on its head and deeper. So I was like, when I go back down there, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to try to provoke and to see if I can get this thing to break one of these faces on my face or knock me out of the chair. So it's undeniable. Like I was fully wanting this thing to just break my nose. I'm like, all right, if it just shatters my nose or snaps my arm or something, there's no way, there's no way we can get this confused. So that's what I'm doing down there, is trying to provoke and trying to get her to do it again because it had me kind of pissed. It's like, okay, you're whatever this is. Now, some of the claims that go on in this basement, they call it a demon or a dark entity. They describe it as like almost a baby octopus that climbs up the walls and crawls across the ceiling and shit. I've never seen nothing like that down there. But this is the second investigation that we've been on as a group where one of us has gotten marked up. And this one by far was worse than what mine was. Mine was raised welts that was gone within 20 minutes. This one was deep enough to draw blood and did not damage his hoodie or the shirt or nothing. So, okay, let's get into this. And you guys will see, and then I'll give my theories. We'll rewatch it a few times. And please, you're not going to offend me. Anybody in the chat that got an explanation for this fucking malfunction, let me know. And because I want to debunk it at the end of the day. That's our job as investigators. Debunk what we can, and what we can't is true evidence. So I'm going to be on a mission here trying to debunk as much of this as possible. And I know Tyler's going to be doing the same. And I will definitely report all the findings that we have. And once we get a full reel put together of evidence that we caught throughout this live, we'll go over it again together. And if anybody has any theories and way to debunk any of this shit, let me know. Here we go.
The same entity that did that to me, and also did that to Bob, you want. I know what you can do.
Right, Miley?
You've done it to me now. And now, you've done it to Bob. How about we cut the pussy bullshit and you up the game a little bit? Don't scratch me. Knock me off this chair.
Again, everybody's back up at base, which is a floor up and across the building.
If you're going to play the scratch game, you scratch me and I still sit down here. Now you scratch Bob. And I'm down here alone.
Oh, shit. That's good to know, Steph. I got my
Do
theories on it.
something.
I got my theories on it. We'll go over that after I see it because I want to make sure it's just not me still having that adrenaline and overthinking or overselling. But I got my theory on it, I think. Hey, kitty.
I'm here.
So quiet. So quiet. And that fucking kitchen is never this damn quiet. And right now we're starting to see a little bit of the malfunction of the camera. Which again, it's one of the theories that these entities draw
Slam
from
the
electrical,
door.
draw
Throw something in
energies.
my head. Do something.
A little bit of play on that fan grate, I believe there. Now, see, it's starting to, and this very well could just be a
I
shit
haven't ate
connection.
anything yet today,
Hey,
Doris.
Granny, how you doing?
If that wasn't you, and it was something a little bit more malevolent,
So all this right here with the play on the screen
you
now,
just
you
come
can
in here and at
definitely
least
just
cook me a meal.
explain away as being a shitty connection, right? We've all seen this type of breaking up of connection. Or if you want to play devil's advocate, something might be creeping up in the room and drawing the energy away. Both are very good possibilities, but I think just maybe something right there it goes. Just, what the fuck, man? All right, let's go back. Son of a bitch. Not that far, Nathan, you dumbass.
I'm here.
I'll keep an eye on the timestamp so I can.
Slam the door. Throw something in my head. Do something.
I think I might already passed it already, didn't I?
Do something.
No, I didn't. It's 4/6/24. So I'm trying to provoke. As soon as I call Doris in, she comes in. There it goes again. It's fucking wild. All right, I'm gonna go back and pause 1 second here, and I'll give you guys my theory on what I think might be happening here. And again, I'll go over all this and really try to dissect it. But Blinky, not really afraid. I get determined. Like when I'm down here now doing this, and I'm down there by myself where I've been scratched at, and I just watched Bob get scratched. Of course, there's like a little bit of that antsy feeling, but I'm just determined. This shit, it takes quite a bit. Like it takes quite a bit, especially if you ever see me fucking run. Shit really hit the fan. It's going to take quite a bit for me to do that. You know, it would literally take that demon creature to crawl across that fucking the wall there and across the ceiling, whispering my name for me to like hit that oh shit moment. But with this scenario, and let me see, the timestamp when this starts. Okay, I'll play it one more time for you.
Do something. I'm here.
So I'm still calling out. Exactly,
Slam the
stuff.
door.
It's a call to
Throw
action.
something in my head. Do something.
And the live chat of this video is when Kayla asked me to ask Doris to make me something to eat. And as soon as I call Doris in here, she comes in. And in my opinion, so far, I haven't been able to debunk that out of my skull. There it goes. Little interference.
I haven't ate anything yet today, Doris. If that wasn't you, and it was something a little bit more
Neither have
malevolent,
I, RBF.
can you just come in here and at least cook me a meal?
What the fuck is that? Love it. Oh my gosh. Really? I want to catch that again because it happens at 4/6/24. I want to kind of freeze it there to see if I can see any images in the melt. I haven't did that yet either. Stretching. Right there. Let's kind of see. Now, I don't know. Like again, it almost acts like it's like an old VHS tape with a tracking issue or some shit. It's wild to see all these different, everything just kind of melt down. And again, it starts, it really just melts completely out at 4/6/24. And obviously 4 times 6 is 24. So I thought that there might be a meaning in that. So I just looked up the spiritual meaning behind the number 24 to see if that would. Right, Kitty. That's why I'm kind of froze it there because I kind of seen a face, but I don't want to like, you know what I mean? Like another thing with the paranormal, especially with EVPs, if I say I hear something, your ears are going to try to make sense and hear that also. It kind of works the same way with video evidence like this. And again, it's like the ink blot effect, like we can create what we want out of this, but it's just so phenomenal with it. Even if it is a malfunction of the live, which obviously it is, we had nothing like this for almost 5 hours. Nothing like this happened. No, we had little disturbance here and there with the broadcast strength, but nothing to this degree. And the spiritual meaning behind the number 24, letting you know that you aren't alone in your journey, and that will, with balance, harmony, and sweet self growth, you can reach your highest potential. And that's kind of like the spiritual realm believing behind the number 24. And the spiritual message behind that number is to take on life's obstacles, no matter how hard they may seem, and to use them as an opportunity for growth. So I don't want to dive into that too deep, but it's definitely an anomaly. We caught it live. There's some things going on here. And again, some of the theories about entities and spirits is they draw energy from electronics, from your person, from, in my theory also, we are live streaming this with a lot of people's energy focused on this cam. And, oh, 1 second, let me read the scratch. Took a lot of energy. I think maybe she didn't have enough energy. See, exactly. See, we're on the same wavelength and stuff, because that's what she did that scratch. Or maybe it's not Doors. I very well think it may be a mimic also. I don't know. Again, I'm a seeker. I'm not an expert. But there is a theory out there that these entities and these spirits will draw your energy, draw energy from electronics, which of all the times we've been there, this is the most that our batteries have got drained the way they did. We was going through several batteries. Even I did with my X850, which is my rig that you see me carrying around there with infrared night vision capabilities and things. Those batteries usually last upwards, 2.5, 3 hours per battery. I had to change mine out within an hour and a half, and that hardly ever happens. So as I'm down here and I'm trying to call this thing out to get it to do something yet again, the stream malfunctions, we get this melt, and then it snaps right back. I believe, now I'm in my infancy right now of like dissecting this and really coming through and creating some sort of solid base theory. But just from watching this a few times and looking up the numerology thing, and I believe when I called something in there, it piggybacks off exactly what Steph just said, that it depleted a lot of its energy doing that scratch to Bob and shoving out of that freezer. And when I'm calling it back in, it's trying to pull from everywhere to replenish, and probably trying to do that to replenish and fuck me up. You know what I mean? So I just love that we caught all this live. I absolutely love that we caught all this live. And this weekend we'll go live for a really longer stream, and maybe I'll get somebody on the panel with me to kind of go over it, and we'll really dissect this shit. And I'll be working behind the scenes to really dissect this and create a good video to go over with you guys of all the best evidence that we caught out of all of our lives and all of our footage. And man, it was just amazing night, man. Amazing night. And with the evidence that we caught there, I'm very fucking excited. Very fucking excited. I got it down my. Hell yes. I would appreciate that, Yami. Hell yes. We did a little bit of tarot while we was there. We did do a ritual after this. This is before we even did the ritual to try to charge up the place. We did do a ritual to charge up the place. And I'll share as much of that footage as Tyler will allow me. Let's put it that way, because with everything that happened there, it definitely warrants for us to put together a second piece. And I also had an idea too. I know all of us kind of live all over the place, right? And we're all in different corners of the earth. But Whitty, Lori, and myself, we get together quite often. I would love for us three to get together and stay here doing lives and putting Woody down here and put her in some situations, and Lori and C, and really anybody that's close that would like to kind of tag along with us. Have almost like a get together, a stream house like we used to, and invite whoever wants to come that's close enough to come in with us and do a live investigation with Tyler and myself. I think would be a phenomenal idea. And like I said, right now it's an off season. Once you get, into the fall, the summer months and fall months, the prices do go up. And, we got to get to the fucking holiday season. I got to upgrade some of this equipment and things, but I would love to pay for another evening and invite anybody that wants to and is able to come along and go through that. I haven't even talked to Woody, or if you're in here, Granny, yeah, this is me asking you. I was just thinking about that when she popped in the chat. We get together and we hang out. We try to at least once a year with COVID and sickness and things and the way life is going. It's been a little over a year now, but we're about due. And I think us getting together here would be pretty damn exciting. So, I mean, if anybody out there this interests you and you would like to go along on an investigation with Tyler and I, maybe I'll put like a poll up or something on my community page to kind of start putting this in play. And you guys can go and experience this with us in real time and try to help debunk and investigate. I know Tyler would be open for that, because after this night, we have to go back there. We have to go back again. There's no... Damn, it's just... Ed and Lorraine Warren had a theory. I think it's the 30-day theory. To really investigate a property, you almost have to spend 30-ish days and nights there. We spent quite a bit at Randolph filming Phantom Farm, going back this time. We've spent several hours in this place. And for me personally, even, being scratched there before, this night was different than any other night. Like, usually Randolph, and I think I've used this to describe this place before, you could feel it kind of turn on. You know what I mean? You could feel the energy starting to charge, and, it would last 15, 20 minutes or even like a few hours. This night, it was like on all night long. Like, it was just fucking phenomenal. It was crazy. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to extend the invite. Maybe get it like a groups, because it'll be Tyler and I, and maybe, 4 or 5 more people that would like to come in and investigate with us. I think that would be a unique thing there. Awesome, Yami. I freaking deleted my Discord app off my phone. I'll have to download that back down. I'm not in Petty Fams. You can get me on Twitter or X, whatever people are calling it now. I know stuff that sucks. I wish I could get you over here on this side of this rock so you could go in with us. Okay, after we did the jail live, because most of the night with all the evidence that was going on, I was off doing lives, you know what I mean? And we was all just trying to figure out what's going on. So I did another solo with you guys in the jail cell. And after we ramped that up, we went into the ritual, which, we went through a whole ritual there to try to charge the building until dawn. We did several different things. Again, I don't know how much Tyler would... Don't want me to spoil it, because it's a good little turn for the film piece that we're trying to make out of this, again, because we got more evidence that warrants another piece. So we did that, and we kind of went through the building, and some more psychological play happened to Tyler and myself. that was very intriguing and interesting, and I can't wait to look over that footage because I know we've caught something there, because the environment definitely did change after the ritual. The odd thing is the activity didn't like really ramp up, because shit, it was ramped up as soon as we stepped foot on the property. It was ramped up. So it's wild. It's wild. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Awesome, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, see, that's what I think I'm going to do here. Maybe after everybody gets through the holiday season, maybe like February-ish. I don't know. I want to get back there fucking soon. Maybe February-ish, January, something like that. Maybe let's shoot maybe for January to get any a few of you guys that would like to come along. Let me try to ask Lori and Whitty to kind of see what their schedule looks like, because I want as much people to experience this with us, through live streams, or even better in person, to see what we are dealing with. I mean, it is balls to the wall. I mean, this is by far, this place never disappoints. I think the first time we went there, I went along with Tyler's family. We really didn't have too much that night, but we really was just kind of, we didn't record that. I don't think we recorded at all. I think we just went there to experience the building for what it was. And we didn't have nothing nowhere near the craziness that happened on this night or the nights that created Phantom Farm. But again, we created Phantom Farm off of maybe, like, in my opinion, like 1/8 of what happened this night that we went. Yes, Steph, I definitely could do that. Maybe I'll try to create the funds somehow to just get Tyler, myself, and Josh, maybe one or two others, to go back. We do another live, we do another investigation, kind of go through the same process, maybe do the ritual sooner to see if that changes anything, and then go back another time with everybody that, anybody that would like to go along, from our YouTube group here. Because, it's going to take another 2 times, at least, maybe 3, to really create and try to really debunk and get to that area where you can't explain away some of this shit. So yeah, that's a good idea, Steph. Awesome, Miley. Yeah, everybody's over the pond. That's awesome. All right, Kitty. Yeah, I think it'd be an awesome experience. And again, you guys, whoever comes along, you you have to know that obviously we're recording it, but odds are you might be. Any odds are you're going to be in a film. It's going to go up on Amazon, especially if more shit like this happens. Not really. Nothing that tops what happened on this live. Nothing happened that was over the top above this live. We did hear footsteps and banging and clanging, and there was some interesting vibes that happened during the ritual. Again, Cody's fiance Megan was in base majority of the night watching the security cams that we had set up everywhere, and she said as we did the ritual and the things that we did, like, she definitely was affected, with anxiety and things, but nothing that topped what the fuck this is. Okay, Kitty. I was reading Miley's comment there. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna talk it over to Tyler as well and see if he'd be interested. And if I know Tyler's going to be interested to go back there, because we're kind of on a mission at this point. But to bring you guys along so you can feel, that's my whole reasoning behind live streaming before realizing, like, holy shit, it's a very valuable tool that we have to use. I wanted to put you guys as close to experience as possible. And you really don't get closer than actually going to the location with us and investigating. You know what I mean? So I think that's naturally the next step is that. And again, things got to happen here. Like I want to get that pocket cam before I go there, and which I'll work on all that. And we'll see what we can put together here. By this weekend, I'll come up with a game plan when we do our next live and go over everything together, and check with a few people to make sure we can make this happen. And then we'll do it. We'll get together and we'll see what we can do. So, but I'm going to come over I'll be going over this footage with a fine tooth comb, several nights leading up. I mean, what is it, Wednesday now? We'll probably plan a live for, who knows? We'll definitely, I'll be live several different times, but to go over this footage and really to get something put together of like kind of the best of, we'll go over it again a little bit more thorough Saturday evening. Right, RBF, it looks like somebody's just torquing on the tracking knob of a VHS tape. It's, and again, my theory on this so far, and again, I haven't really delved in it really deep and tried to dissect and whatever, but it seems to be that something depleted its energy and is drawing from everything that it possibly could to try to replenish that to maybe bust me in my face like I was asking for. That's my theory at this point. It may change when I delve into it deeper and start to sift through things, but that is my theory at this point, is it was trying to replenish energy that it exerted when it pushed Bob out of the freezer and scratched him. I definitely will, Steph. Like what I want to do this weekend is for us to just do a full watch through. Maybe get like a little panel together so we got different. Hopefully, maybe Raven's feeling better, and Steph, you can come up on panel, and Raven and Death, and maybe get some different viewpoints. Some of the people that was in the live chat that night, and what you guys was experiencing, because I reading through these comments, people were saying things was happening to them in their home watching this. So maybe we do a live where we just go over, if not all, a huge portion of it to try to create a collective theory on what we're thinking. Yeah, maybe we can put something together for Saturday. I do believe I'm free Saturday evening and night, so maybe we can put something together for then. Yeah, because the sounds that was coming from that basement, and again, you can explain away some of those sounds because of that grate and that fan and the wind, but that still don't explain why it stopped every time we went down there. That still don't explain how loud it was. There's some things that, as of now, I can't explain away. And that's my job. I feel like it's the job of any investigator is to explain away everything that you possibly can. And then what you're left with is paranormal evidence. You was, for being half asleep, Steph, you was on it. You guys, you and Death was clipping and sending and going, and I greatly appreciate it. You guys was on top of it. I can't wait to get Raven's input and what she thinks, what was going on here. I can't wait to get her input on it, because she has pretty good insights and views on things like this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. It was a phenomenal night. Like, we went there to do a follow-up piece to Phantom Farm fully, And now I feel like it's almost set me on a path of not really so much of a follow-up piece for Phantom Farm. I think it's more so a follow-up piece from this night, from this live, and the things that we got. It's, man, this is the part, after the investigation, when we got all this footage and I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep. This is the part where I got all these different thoughts and beliefs and things. The human emotion of going through these type of things. You got to kind of figure out a way to sift through that human emotion and what you would like to believe and what is really there. And instead of getting overexcited and adrenaline pushing theories and things of that nature, to push all that shit to the side and really just take for face value and create a solid theory on what you believe might be happening. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Like, I just need to get my sleep caught back up and dig through this footage from some more, so when Saturday comes along, we can watch this together and come up with like a collective theory. And I think that's something I've never really did either, is like create a collective theory with you guys, then go back on location and try to test some of those theories on another live, where we're testing not just my theories and the rest of the team's theories, but what you guys are thinking and what you guys experienced that was watching this live. And again, more energy focused on this thing. I believe it does something. I think it charges it. And I think it very well be the reason why this night was so damn active, is we had extra eyes and extra energy just feeding this place. And again, that's my bonehead theory now, but I don't think I'm going to be able to explain that theory away. I think that there's something true there. I think there's a truth that lies in between there somewhere, where so many people was focused on this area, so many people was there, with eyes on it and watching so close, and then just being live, that has to charge, that has to put some energy in the air also it can pull from. And I think that's why we got the screen melt. And I can think and I can think and I can think, but I want to test these things, and I want to test some of your guys' theories and get your input. So what I'm going to do and now until Saturdays, we'll try to get a destination for the stream where we're going to do the stream at, and a panel. Try to sift through some of these exciting, the excitement feel that I got. That's still definitely, my adrenaline's still kicking from this night. It was a phenomenal night, but kind of sift through that and come up with a more ironclad theory on what was going on. And again, I think you guys had a very crucial role in this night as far as that live stream goes. And that very well, I mean, that's really the only difference in us going there the first time and us going there now was the live stream and the extra eyes and energy that was focused on this place. Like a remote viewing type shit there that may have helped charge this property with energy that it was able to use to manifest some things. So I'm very intrigued on getting this together. I thank you guys for being a part of this ride, and hopefully you guys can be even more a part of the go back and creating this film, this documentary, because I definitely think it warrants another one. And I think now we're crossing over and testing the theory of live streaming and having more eyes and more energy focused on a location. Does that change how the property behaves, how these entities interact with you? I think that's kind of where the direction of this piece is going organically. That is the only difference that we had between Phantom Farm and that night, was that live stream. So I'm like intrigued to see if we accidentally just stumbled upon something that can help these entities do what they did this night. That's again, I'm getting overly excited. My adrenaline's pumping, and I'm trying to sift this through my head in real time. But I believe that is the story here, is doing live streams and things. Is there some sort of energy that is offered up? And I'm not even sure if you can really test that other than the fact of going live and not going live to see if there's a difference. I mean, that's the very obvious way to test that, but is there any other way we can measure that? I mean, EMFs and things like that, and my EDI plus and shit like that, we can measure radio waves and things, but I want to figure out a way to test that theory. Because now, yeah, the scratch take two. There's been 2 different members of our team, myself being one of them, that has been scratched at this property. Bob's was definitely a little bit more aggressive than what mine was. I had never broke my skin. I didn't bleed. It was just raised welts on my back. It actually broke the skin. He was bleeding. Again, you can go on my community tab and you can see the photo of what happened to him when he got shoved out of that damn freezer. Phenomenal shit. And again, it goes back to what I just said, is the reason why his was more aggressive, his was, a little bit more severe than what mine was, is because we had you guys in that live stream focused on that property along with our team. So did our energy collectively charge this thing up strong enough to be a little bit more aggressive? Then if so, then shit. That's why I'd be interested in getting anybody that's close enough or would be willing or wants to go in with us. Like, what if there's multiple cameras live? What if there's multiple shit live? Like, does that change the dynamic? Does that charge it up even more? Hey, what's going on, Shadow? Like, I think that's where this next piece, like I said, it's organically going, because that is the only difference. That is the only difference, is that live stream. And the scratch happened again, and it was more aggressive and a little bit more severe. So I'll be really intrigued on testing that theory. And Steph, like, I do too, but again, it's still fresh, it's still new. But I don't think that theory is going to go away. I think that, again, you're kind of guys that are seeing, like, in real time, how Phantom Farm was created. If we go into a location and none of this happens, then there's no peace to be made there. Even though we wanted to do a follow-up piece, it might have made a cool little YouTube video. But if nothing happens, then there's no sense of making a documentary and really delving into it that deep. But since this did happen, and the only difference was this live cam, this live stream, where we had several different people focusing their energy on watching this. So that's the theory that I think it's organically going. I think that's the organic turn on it. And that's how we create pieces, is organic. If something happens that you can't explain away, and it's an organic happening, then follow that. And I think that's where it's heading. Granny, my theory on that, it kind of depends also if what I believe is correct. It may be a mimic, or maybe something, it may be a spirit from somebody that lived there. Either way, I think it's a territory thing. I think they're territorial. I don't necessarily think, me being down there, I didn't feel nothing evil or anything like of that nature. I think it was more of a scare tactic to get us out of there. Like, because the way my brain works and the way I look at the situation, I look at it, if they have enough energy and they have the capability to draw blood on a scratch, then if they really wanted us to get hurt, and especially my dumb ass down there doing it solo and calling it out of its name and trying to provoke, they very well could take one of those vases down there and just bust it over my head, which I would love. I mean, I would definitely be smiling through every stitch that would be put in my head if a vase just levitates across the room and smacks me right in the face. Like, I would love every second of that pain, because that would be the greatest paranormal evidence ever caught anywhere. You know what I mean? So I don't think necessarily it is something evil, right? I don't think it's something that is that demonic, because if it can draw blood like it did on Bob, it could fuck us up if it wanted to. I think it's more so a scare tactic to try to get us out of that area. Yes, Nova. Yes, we did a live Monday night in the same location we filmed our documentary Phantom Farm, and oh man, we had so much shit. If you go, Nova, to my live, I think it's like labeled, instead of me just trying to remember, the Terror Barn live on location static cam, and you go to timestamp around 4 hours and 5 minutes and just watch. You will see it will only take about a minute. And you can watch all the way through there. There's activity all the way through that, and it's very interesting, to say the least. We caught more on that live than we did really throughout that whole Phantom Farm piece. It was phenomenal. So now I think we're going to shift gears and try to get a group together from our YouTube group that we bounce around and see if anybody, and if anybody's willing to go in there with Tyler and I and do investigation and have multiple live stream cams up to see if that is what changed the dynamic of this night. There was so many different people focused on this thing. So I think that's the direction we're going to go in. Steph made a great suggestion, a good point, that Tyler and I go back alone again. We stream again, and then try to get a group together that would like to go in with us in person to experience it. So yes, it was, of all the investigations I did, and this has come from somebody who got scratched at this location. I got scratched there, like right down the hallway from where Bob did. This night topped that for me, because it was just so much, man. It was, as soon as we got to the property, it was charged footsteps, disembodied voices, bangings, clangings, things like that, hair standing up, shit like that. And then we get a bloody scratch, and then we get something drawing away from that iPad, drawing the energy and malfunctioning in a way that I've never seen before. So, like, again, my adrenaline's still up and I'm still excited about it, but I do believe there's evidence here that I would like to submit to some of these people that's been in this field for decades to kind of get their theory, and maybe they have something to explain this away and kind of calm me down. and maybe I'm overreacting on it, but I've never seen nothing that's happened quite like this. So it was definitely an interesting night. So yeah, I'm going to try to upgrade the equipment that I need. If I get that Pocket 3, you guys won't be stuck in one location. I can just mount that to my body, and you can walk around with me in real time, because I need my hands available for the equipment that we use in my camera rig. But that Pocket 3 is so small, I can just have a body mount and just kind of mount it, so you're going along with me on this journey, and we're experiencing it there. And I think that would be a cool dynamic too. So that's my goal before we go back, to at least get that Pocket 3 and then go back in there with you guys on a live stream on that. And that will also have clear audio. I'm able to actually Bluetooth a lav mic to that Pocket 3, and that will have a lot clearer audio, and you guys can hear a lot more through that lav mic, 1,000%, than that shitty iPad mic. Hey, that would make for a good scene too, Nova. You just freaking the fuck out and and trying to run away. And that would give the jump scare audience something. I love it. Like, if you see me run out of a situation, like I said earlier, shit's really hit the wall. The fucking devil was just appeared in front of me, and some shits went down for me to take off and go. When I did get scratched, that was the feeling at first, was like, oh shit, when you spin around ready to throw hands on some shit and there's nothing there to throw hands with, you're like, oh, okay, this shit can happen. So yeah, these are my goals now, and I know me, they're only going to get stronger, because I think I found a thread here of what can organically drive the next piece and the reason to go back is we can test that theory of, is the reason why the activity amped up so much is because more people was focusing their energy on the property. And is that why we kind of got to this next level of activity, was for that sole purpose and reason, was more people was focused on it and either willing or, unwilling, they offered their energy up, and this piece just absorbed it like a sponge and fucking scratched the shit out of Bob and threw him out of our freezer. But again, I don't think it's nothing demonic. I think it's more territorial. It's more standoffish. And it might be one of those things. Like, I don't know. I can't see through the veil. I really wish I could. I really wish I knew exactly what was on the other side of the veil. I really wish I had, like, ironclad reason on why these things happen. But maybe they're maybe they're more so afraid of us than what we are them, for the most part. And maybe that's why we get these scratches and loud bangs and things, is them trying to scare us out of the place. Just have a whole group sprinting out the front door. But no, we definitely are going to try to get back there. And again, my links are all over the place. Don't ever feel obligated to hit those links. I'm not that guy. Okay, I'm not going to be over here saying, I ain't doing this for free. I'm doing this because I love it, and it's a passion. Don't ever feel obligated to hit the PayPal link or the Cash App link or even the Phantom Farm link. You're not obligated to do shit. You don't even got to be in here if you don't want to. I'm grateful for all of you. If there's 5 people in here, I'm grateful for that. Somebody's listening to me run my stupid ass mouth. You know what I mean? So, but if you would like to help fund this next journey, it's going to happen one way or another. I don't care if I got to start an OnlyFans and start selling foot pics or some shit. It's going to happen. If I got to work 60 hours a week leading up to, it's going to happen again, because now I feel like I have a theory to test organically. I didn't create the theory. It presented itself. And that's what gets me really excited, is when something presents itself and it warrants an investigation. That's what really gets me amped the fuck up to go in and to do that. Right, Nova. Like, trying to, as like anybody would. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody walks into your house, you're going to try to defend your space. And I think that's kind of what's going on in Randolph, I believe. Something's very, very territorial. Right. That's something else too, Miley. Maybe, I asked and I received, because I meditate. I go through a 48-hour fast. I protect myself spiritually the best that I can, through meditation and prayers and things. And, but I also ask the universe to show me, to kind of guide me to another level of understanding when it comes to this field. I did the same before we went in there. I did my fast, and whether it's good or not, I'm still kind of fasting for some reason. I think I'm so fucking excited, and my sleep's been messed up, but I haven't really ate anything since, I don't know, Saturday, somewhere around there, because I fasted 48 hours before going to the property with just water. And I did have some Celsius and shit the day of, but no food. And I'm still kind of riding off of that, because my adrenaline's up and I'm so fucking excited. Something happened, and it was another organic call to action, like, there's a reason to go back now. There's a theory to test now, and I didn't create it. It presented itself. And that's what gets me excited. That's that's go time, So I'm really excited about that. And if, unfortunately, I got to get ready to wrap. Do you sage afterwards? What I do know is a mixture between multiple different cultures. I guess the best way, I think the 3 really that I really pull from would be Christianity, of course, and Native Americans and Hoodoo. I kind of pull from those 3 big pillars and have created my own meditation prayer ritual to protect myself, and knock on wood, nothing has followed me back. So, hey, Lex, nice to see you. Because to me, like, especially when it comes to like religion and being spiritual, which I hate when people say, I'm a spiritual, I'm not religious, but that's kind of where I fall in, I know there's a God. I'm not arrogant enough to, I don't know if it would really be arrogant or more disrespectful. God is God, and that's the name that he earns, so I think God is Jesus, Allah, Buddha. God is that. And because of cultures and these little imaginary lines that we put up and call countries and continents and shit, I think different cultures, you find it, they travel a different path to the same God, if that makes sense. So, Eastern culture calls it one thing, Western culture calls it another thing, but it's the same thread. There's so many similarities that bleed over through different cultures and different religions, and it's a universal truth. And those are the things that I try to follow and abide by. I 1,000% think there's a God, and I think we all pray to the same one. But we're all human. So, and it's fine. I am never going to beat anybody up for different beliefs. You believe what you believe. And I back that. I don't care. Different cultures, different religions. That's just my way of thinking. Right on, Shadow. Same here. And, again, when all it boils down to, we don't know for sure who's right or wrong. We'll find out one day, but then we won't be able to tell anybody. So I could be way the fuck off. I could get, after this show's over on this realm, I might get shot down to hell and have to be Hitler's fluffer. I don't know. But that's just, for me, find something that gives you peace and stay there. You stay in that. If it gives you peace, stay there. All right. Yeah, Lex, it was just a quick live. We're going to do a more thorough live and go over all that footage from Monday. We're going to try to get a panel together and go live Saturday and really delve into that long ass 5-hour stream a little bit more. So you didn't really miss much. We just went over some of the big shit you guys seen that night, and kind of sifted through and found a theory on the callback. And then I do have an idea of getting together people that's close enough and that would want to do it, to go in and investigate with Tyler and I live, and in IRL, in person. Right, Lex? That's like the worst punishment imaginable in my brain. Oh man, but I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Like, there wouldn't be no new theory to test. There would be no new organic happenings that warrants us going back without you guys. And Steph and Death saved my ass with all the screen clips and things that they caught, and it's now put us on this path where I feel like we have to go back at least a couple more times to try to figure out what in the hell actually happened, and is there a way that we can now, because that's one of the reasons why I keep doing this. I would love to find a format where I can go into any location, whether it's Randolph County or fucking Walmart, find any, format and solid ironclad technique that I can just communicate. That would be awesome. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I do this. Like, I want to get as much understanding and knowledge about what's going on around us that we can't see. And I'm willing to test any thread of possibility. And that's what keeps me going back and trying. And I enjoy it. It truly is one of my passions. like I said, paranormal and comedy are a fucking tie to me, like in that sense. Yes, it was it was definitely interesting. But I'm gonna have to get ready to wrap this up to go pick up the children. I appreciate you guys. I know I say that like a fucking broken record, but it's true, so I'm gonna keep repeating myself, I'm sure. You guys definitely helped out that night. You guys help out every time I turn this mic on and chat with you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are fucking phenomenal. And if you want to help with this journey and creating this next piece, you know where the links are at. One's pinned on top of the chat, but never feel pressured. If you don't want to, it's fine. Love is love. I ain't gonna give a shit. But I appreciate you guys, and I'm more than excited to see where this journey takes us. You know, where this journey takes us is going to be the best ride yet. You know, my favorite investigation is always the next one. So I appreciate you guys. Lots of love from my family to yours. And we will see you for sure Saturday. I'll post on the community tabs for sure what time, where at, who's going to be on panel, what we're going to be doing. All that info will be on my community tab, and odds are I'll be live before then anyways, just to kind of chat, chill, and go over new shit that has popped up as I'm digging through this stuff. But I appreciate you guys. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day, and I will talk to you very damn soon.